Welcome to episode 5 of the Strategize to Monetize No BS Way to Scale Your E-commerce Business podcast. Are you struggling to show up and post consistently on your business social pages? Or maybe that's the easy part for you. Instead, you're left scratching your head wondering why aren't you seeing the engagement on your posts or seeing paying customers flood through your online doors. In today's episode, how to plan, create, and attract all from your Facebook feed, I'm going to address both of these questions, plus so much more. So, buckle in. Again, this is a goodie. Let's get started. Hey, I'm Lou, and I'm the host of the Strategize to Monetize podcast. I'm a business strategist, digital marketing coach, and totally obsessed in all things related to harnessing the power of social media to turn side hustles into full-time gigs. In 2016, I left my high-flying corporate career to launch and grow my own online business. Whilst many at times, myself included, thought I was insane, there were a few things I knew for sure. I knew I wanted more from life than working for somebody else building their multi-million or billion-dollar business. I knew I wanted freedom and flexibility to spend time with family and friends, to travel, to have hobbies and interests outside of working all the time. I knew I didn't want to sacrifice my income. In fact, I wanted to earn more than my 9 to 5, but in less working hours. And I knew I wanted to help and teach e-com business owners how to do that and have the same. This show is dedicated to showing you exactly how I did it and how you can too. The no BS way. Hit subscribe and let's get started. To gain access to my free training, steal my 5-step Facebook selling system, and scale your e-commerce business to 5K months, head to www.fbrevolution.co/masterclass. Hey guys, it's Lou here. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode, How to Plan, Create, and Attract Paying Customers all from your Facebook feed. Now, in last week's episode, I was super lucky to be joined by Amanda Roberts from So the Story Goes, where we spoke about all things paid advertising. Now, if you haven't tuned in, make sure you do. It is a goodie. And if you have, I reckon you loved it, right? So if you did, jump into Facebook or Instagram, send me a message, let me know. I'd love to continue the discussion around paid ads further. Now, whilst I love paying or investing money into different platforms to market our businesses, get more eyeballs on our brands and our products, along with paid ads, I'm a huge believer in the power of attraction marketing and having a strategic plan on how to market, show up, and attract paying customers in the online marketplace. Now, I believe in this so much that, believe it or not, my flagship program, the FB Revolution, centers a lot around this. And it's a main focus with the clients that I work with in the one-on-one capacity as well. So today I thought, why not talk about one of my biggest passions with you and drop some how-tos when it comes to creating a strategic plan, how to consistently show up, and of course, how to attract paying customers for free, which also aligns with any paid marketing strategies that you're currently using or you're wanting to use in the future as well. So enough about that. Let's get started. Why do we need a plan? Look, I guess first and foremost, can you run a business just completely winging it, having no idea, where you're wanting to go or how you want to get there? I don't know about you. I don't believe you can. I definitely know I can't. I love plans. I love setting goals. And then obviously I love strategically analyzing the pathway in which to get there, which is why I do what I do. But one of the biggest reasons why it's really useful to have a content marketing plan in place so that you know what you're going to be posting about on a regular basis, ultimately helps ensure that you consistently show up on your, whether it be your Facebook or your Instagram or your YouTube or any platforms that you're using to get in front of your perfect customers, and of course, encourage them to go to your website to buy. Now, one of the biggest challenges that, I talk to with e-commerce business owners, whether I work with them or not, is, well, how do I go about doing that? I get really stuck. I feel really overwhelmed. I don't know what to post about all the time. I don't even know how many times to be posting on a day or on a week-to-week basis. And that's cool. We're going to talk about that in a second. But one of the biggest reasons on why you should create a plan is to help you with that consistency. The next step is to connect and build relationships with your online audience and perfect customers. And thirdly, because you are being consistent, you're connecting and focusing on building relationships, you'll be building trust with your online audience and perfect customers, which of course will then encourage them to purchase, as long as you've attracted the right people. Now, I know what you may or may not be thinking at this point in time, especially if you are using Facebook business pages as a way to be able to grow your business. It's not uncommon, I hear, but Lou, isn't Facebook dead? Like, isn't the Facebook business page dead? Organic reach is really bad, engagement is low. Like, what is the point of using Facebook business pages to grow my business? And what is the point in committing time and energy into creating a content plan to showcase my business if no one's ever going to see it? Now, I totally get that. I hear you. I understand. I started my business 5 years ago, and I can assure you that I totally know how much better organic reach and engagement was back then. Even compared to last week, I was looking at some numbers, comparing stats from, today to 12 months ago. And, even from that, I can see such a decrease in the organic reach and engagement. And, sometimes we can feel frustrated that we are investing more time and energy, getting less of a result. So I totally hear you on that accord. But what I guess I encourage you to think about is, consider a Facebook business page like it's a shop front window. So a couple of years ago, organic reach was way higher. And, we can probably think about that maybe being a shop front, on Queen Street if you are in New Zealand or in Auckland, downtown, maybe the Burke Street Mall if you're in Melbourne or you've been there, or maybe even Rodeo Drive if you're in US, right? So what I'm trying to say is, I understand that back in the day, it was like having a shopfront window on a really highly populated area where we didn't have to do a lot of work in order to get people to know that we existed. Whereas now, our shopfront window is still in the same place, but we're having to do a lot more work to be able to get eyeballs and traffic coming to visit us, to then encourage them into paying customers. Right. So I understand that, but I really encourage you to think that, you just wouldn't pack up shop and stop being there. Otherwise, no one's going to find you. And it's exactly the same on a platform like Facebook or even Instagram or anything else. You have to have that profile page, that home page, so you can start, attracting people to that page and then taking them through the customer journey next. And if you're not consistently posting, or you're not posting content that is in alignment with your perfect customer, that's building a relationship with them, that's showcasing how your products can solve their problem or match their desires, if you're not doing any of that, then people will ultimately think that you no longer exist and that you've closed down, and they'll go find somebody else that, appears to still have an active business. So that is why I guess it's important that we, one, do it, and two, why we should do it. And I trust that that makes sense. And of course, if it doesn't, you are welcome to reach out. But I'm not going to bang on about that forever, because I think I've made my point pretty clear. So now that we know that, how do we go about doing it, right? Because that's what we're here for. We're here for the how-tos. So first and foremost, you need to make a very important decision with your business owner hat on, with your marketing hat on as a business owner. You need to decide how many days a week you're going to be posting, or how many days a week you want your perfect customer to be, I guess, how often you want them to be interacting. So a lot of my competition or competitors out there, and you've probably heard this too, will tell you 7 days a week, if not multiple times a day. Now, that's really great information and advice, and I do absolutely agree with them. Um, if you have the time to be able to consistently do that. Now, running a small business is challenging. I know that. I run one. I also know I wear multiple hats in my business, and I don't put all of my time and energy into one specific strategy to help me attract paying customers. So you can sit there and say to yourself, like, very realistically, I can commit to 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, whatever it may be. Decide what you want to start with, and then you can increase it from there should you choose to. Now, myself, unless I am launching a new product or service, you will notice that I post generally consistently 3 times a day on my news feeds of my chosen platforms. Now, for me, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn are the 3 platforms that I use to market my business and connect with, my ideal customers. Now, if you use something else, then that's cool as well. But you will need to decide how often, you decide or want to contribute to the platforms that you're on. So as I mentioned, my favorite number, or my magic number, is 3. The clients I work with often post around 3 to 4 as well, unless we're going through, an event or a launch phase. We want more eyeballs, or we want more presence in the online space. So decide on that number, and you can always increase. I recommend starting with what you know you can commit to and go from there, as opposed to overcommitting, feeling disheartened, dropping the ball, and then having to build back up momentum, to kickstart yourself going again. Now, secondly, once we know how many days a week we're going to post, what are we going to post about? Which is the number one question I get asked, and it may be the number one question you've got too. If it is, my recommendation is to create like a topic for each of the days that you're wanting to post. So it could be like, for example, an about me post. So once every 3 days, you might want to share a fun fact about you, or something that's relatable to your online audience, so that they can start to connect with you more on an emotional level. Another post could be a behind the scenes post. Lots of people love seeing what goes on behind a business. You might decide to, that could be a way to connect with your audience, but also talk about your business and your products at the same time. Another topic could be your why. So, what motivates you to have your own business, to help people with the products that you have created or sell? And I guess, give people a bit of a snapshot into what gets you out of bed in the day or in the morning, what motivates you, and why you do what you do. Again, another really popular topic to talk about. You could do a post specifically to what your problem solves, or the desire in which it will achieve for your perfect customer if they purchase. Um, Another example could be how you differ from your competition if you're in a highly competitive market space. That's a few ideas for you. So, my recommendation would be, once you've decided how many days you're wanting to post, come up with a selection of topics that not only align with personally, as well as, but also with, why people should be purchasing. So you've got a good mix of building relationships, as well as identifying why people should purchase, what problems your products solve, and what desire they'll be able to get should they purchase. So there's a good mix. On a very tiny side note, this is probably one of the areas that I see one of the biggest areas of opportunity to improve on that I see in the online marketplace. I see a lot of e-com businesses either posting a lot of the personal posts about me, inspiration, why I do what I do, and very light and fluffy. But then they come to me and say, "But Lou, why is someone buying?" And one of the reasons is that people don't know what it is that you're selling, because you've spent a lot of time talking about yourself and why you do what you do, and you're leaving it to chance for the people that have connected emotionally with your business to go and find out what it is that you sell. We don't have a very high attention span, so you're leaving it to chance to a very few people to go and do that. On the flip side of that, I see a lot of ecom business owners posting a lot of buy my stuff posts, which again is very much needed, because we need, that's why we're in business, and we're there to solve people's problems or create desires, or outcomes. But if that's all we talk about, then we've lost that emotional connection, and it's becoming very much a just buy from me type of situation. Now, what works perfectly is having a mix of those, as I mentioned, so that your perfect customers getting to know, like, and trust you, and then want to buy from you. And the best way to do that is by having a really good split. And then thirdly, write engaging captions. So once you know how many posts you're doing, what it is you're going to talk about, that third step is to be able to construct a caption which is going to be fun or witty or educational, but engaging for your perfect customer to listen to as well. So the way that you do that is that the first part of a post is to capture attention. One of the best ways to do this is with a bold statement or potentially asking a question. The second part of a post is going into the insight or the story, what it is that you're actually wanting to talk about, so it relates to that topic. And then the third part is engagement. So asking for feedback, or asking a question, or asking that person to go to your website to look at your new range, or purchase the product that you have been talking about in your post. Fourth is to post or schedule when your perfect customers are online. And at the moment, Facebook, we have that in our analytics. It is going to be going. I believe it's gone for most people, but if you've still got it, you can go into the insights, click on post down the left-hand side menu, and you'll see a bit of a graph that will tell you when your perfect customer is online. Bearing in mind that is an American time, so you will need to convert that to wherever it is if you're not in America. Alternatively, if you're using Instagram as a platform, again, it's in the insights. You get a bit of a graph to show you. If you're using a different platform, do some research or do some trial and error to see what post or what video gets the greatest engagement at what different time of day. But it is very important that we do this as well. So if your target audience is online at 6 o'clock at night and you're posting at 11 o'clock in the morning, chances are that your current page likes or followers or, members of your online community aren't going to see that post unless they specifically go to, your profile pages to be able to find that. But it also means that all of the other people that are not a page like or follower or subscriber aren't going to see it either, but they are your perfect customer and they're on at a different time. So we're wanting to make sure that we post at optimum time so that our page likes, followers, and subscribers will see the post, engage with it, and then encourage others who are like them to see the post and engage with it too. So there's an important reason why we want to go ahead and schedule these posts at the right time. Now, you can do that if you're on Facebook and create a studio, or you can use external apps I'm pretty sure, for most of the other social platforms. Alternatively, set an alarm, or hire a VA to be able to do that on your behalf if you're busy at the specific times of day. So why do we want to do this? Content marketing, it is a slower form, I guess, of marketing. If you look at it, you're growing an audience as opposed to marketing to lots of people in the audience if you've got paid ads. I guess this works really well either as a standalone strategy, but also in conjunction with paid advertising if you've gone down that path too, which I know lots of people have. So the reason why it works in conjunction with paid advertising is because, if you've got a paid ad out there to your online audience, naturally that person is going to click on the name of your business on that social platform, and go and have a look at your business page or profile. Now, when that happens, if you haven't got any posts or you've been inconsistent or your last post wasn't recent, the assumption is going to be that that business is no longer open for operation. That person is unlikely to go and click on any previous posts or any shop now or any website links, right? We're just going to likely to assume that it's closed. So we're going to go to a different competitor. So it's very important that we are, consistently posting to build connections with our online audience, regardless whether we're just relying on paid ads or not. The other thing is that if you are attending a face-to-face event or or you hang out in online groups networking, again, at some stage, it's likely that the people that you connect with are going to go and have a look at your business profiles. Now, again, just like paid ads, if you aren't consistently posting, or or you're not doing anything, or you're not combining strategically, relationship building posts as well as sales posts, then again, you're missing out on the opportunity for your hard work of that face to face connection or person to person connection in groups to come on over, get to learn more about you, understand more about why you do what you do, how your products will help, them and their life, and then go ahead and purchase from you. They will assume that the shop is empty, you've lost the trust. Again, they'll go somewhere else to go and find what it is that they're looking for. And I guess because I love stats, we know that 97% of people research businesses via social media pages before they purchase. So it's so incredibly important in building trust and relationships and a long-term business that we are also focusing on our content marketing strategy. That might be a post, it could be a video, it could be a blog, anything, I guess, that is of value and building a connection with our perfect customers. We're wanting to make sure that we have a content strategy for that. So that all of the other work that we're doing with the paid advertising and the face-to-face or the networking and relationship building and, all the other things that we potentially either have currently been doing or about to do doesn't go to waste, because 97% of those people that have come across your business externally are going to end up on your business page and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or what have you, and they'll want to see your content before they go ahead and purchase from your website. So I hope that also kind of makes a bit of a obvious. I think that I've drummed the point home there too. Now, just, I guess, on a final note, is this going to make you $1 million overnight? Are you going to be lying on the beach, margarita in hand, hearing cha-ching, 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 because you posted 3 times on your Facebook business page for a week? No, it's not, right? It is just like all of the strategies, just like business, it is a long-term game. But when we first and foremost know who it is that our perfect customers are, then we start consistently posting and creating content for them that is engaging and informative and funny and, makes them want to know more about us and our business. Then we're going to start to see more engagement, which is going to lead to more organic reach, which is going to lead to more potential customers going to our online stores and then purchasing. So it is a long-term game, just like it is building friends or starting new relationships in real life. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be sped up if you're doing paid ads with content marketing. Yes, I 100% believe if you've got multiple different strategies working in conjunction with each other, then it's absolutely going to help your business build momentum faster. Now, if you're only focusing on a content marketing plan because you aren't investing in paid advertising yet, then you absolutely need to get on board with what I've just kind of been through here, because it's going to help you start, building the momentum and moving your business forward quicker. And if you are investing in paid ads, and you're marketing potentially to an audience or people who have never heard from you, they're a cold market. We would call them cold people because they don't know who you are yet. At some point, they'll be coming over to a business page of yours. Then we get the opportunity to warm that person up. Because they've shown interest, they're now getting to know, like, and trust you through the posts and the content that you're putting out there. And then through that connection, whilst they're continuing to see any of your paid ads, we're able to typically warm them up to make them hot and buying potential customers much quicker, because we have got both strategies working in conjunction with each other. So and then if you've got there's so many different marketing strategies out there, which we of course go through on this podcast, but choose the strategies and the direction that you're wanting to grow your business. Focus on each one of them at a time until you feel like you're more confident in it, until you pick up the next one, because if you try to do all the things all at once, you're going to get very overwhelmed and nothing's going to work for you. But if you are focusing on how do I connect with my customer, how do I create content that's going to be exciting and engaging and fun for them, and then how do I spread that so that I can increase the eyeballs, all coming back to my social profile to then get them to go to my website, you're 100% on a money winner when it comes to growing a business and attracting paying customers via social media platforms. This is the exact strategy that I personally use. It is the exact strategy that my students learn in the FB Revolution, and it is the exact strategy that I teach my clients in a one-on-one capacity as well. And here I am, very excitingly, dropping that knowledge onto your lap so that you get the opportunity to do what you want with it. Now, from here, if you have got questions about what I have been through, maybe you've not heard of a content marketing strategy before, maybe you're wanting to implement one, but you don't know how, or you've got something in place, but there's no plan behind it, and it's not, you're not getting or seeing the results that you would like from it, then please, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. Come and find me on Facebook, Louise Stevens Business Coach, or on Instagram, same name. Say hello, let me know that you've listened to this episode, and ask as many questions as your little heart desires, because I would love to be able to help you understand more about the power of strategic planning and content marketing to grow your business in a long-term capacity. As I mentioned, it's not going to make you $1 million overnight, but nothing is, right? Unless it's a scam, and then it doesn't make you anything. So I hope that you finish listening, have a bit of a think about what you're currently doing to build relationships with your customers or your perfect customers in an online space across the different platforms that you're on. Ask yourself whether you think it can be improved, or do you actually know what you're doing? If you don't know what you're doing and you think it can be improved, reach out. If you do know what you're doing, then that is amazing. Full power to you. And on that note, regardless of where you're at, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I look forward to seeing you on the next one, and sharing some more exciting strategies to help you attract more paying customers and ultimately continue to scale your e-commerce business. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode. If you've loved it, please go ahead and hit subscribe so you are notified when new episodes go live. Whilst you're there, I'd love it if you could leave me a review too. Then head on over to www.fbrevolution.co/masterclass, where you can gain instant access to my free and super juicy training, steal my 5-step Facebook selling system, and scale your e-commerce business to 5K months. See you on the next episode.